No, you didn't.
Totally I turned back. I'm gone.
I still see you. I see you in the morning and in the afternoon. I see you in the evening and underneath the moon.
Skidamarink. Do you remember the hands for that?
Skidamarink.
That was the elephant show.
Skidamarinky doo. I love you. Why isn't that on Twitch Sings?
I loved that show. I need to lower my camera just a little bit. For some reason, when it's on mine, it like does it. It chops off my head, but then when it's plugged into your computer, it centers me differently. It makes no sense.
Probably different aspect ratio, maybe?
Maybe.
Because you're always dragging your shit around? Readjusting your size?
But no, I'm just capturing it from a different window, so it has nothing to do with
but in OBS,
the way the video captures.
On OBS, you're moving the top up and down.
No, I don't do it in OBS. I do it... Never mind. I do it in OBS, but it's different. It's a window capture. It's not from the video source like yours is.
Hello, Mieko. How are you doing this fine Friday? It's a freaking Friday, man. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. You having an amazing day, Avi?
I'm having a Friday.
You're having an amazing day now.
Yeah.
Now that you're podcasting.
Hi, Aurora.
Hey, Aurora. How are you doing? Oh, it's a Monday for Mieko.
Aw.
Got a bad case of the Mondays. Well, hopefully we make your Monday a little bit better. A little more entertaining.
Yeah, this was a long week.
That's my goal every time.
I don't know why this week was so long, but it was a very, very long week.
Each week is 7 days. I was going to go on like a...
Thank you, man. I didn't understand that on my own. I really needed you to explain that for me.
In my head, I was thinking I was going to do like, what's that basketball movie, The Hoosiers, where he takes out the measuring tape. He's like, each rim is 8 feet.
That's not a movie I've seen. Oh, Aurora, that's a lot of laundry.
Hello, Reason. I am doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm trying to I'm tired, but I'm trying to not be tired. Like I was really hyper like 20 minutes ago, and now I'm like, okay, oh yeah, podcast.
An elbow deep in laundry.
Great timing for the yawns.
Since 7 a.m.
That's a lot of laundry.
Will give laundry my best. Am I right?
No, not even a little bit. Holy subs last week. Sorry, I just saw the thing.
Yeah, I think like finally it started like alerting, or it started putting people at the bottom, like the renew list, even if they have it to recurring. Because it used to just have it on recurring, but it would just have their first month that they did it, so I would never get an alert like when it recurs.
Yeah.
So I think that might be
fixed.
happening now.
Interesting. I don't know. You're right. It is always so dark when we start playing.
Hello, Icarus.
Hi, Icarus.
Hello, KK.
Hi, KK. There, what is? The stream?
There we are. Hey, we got one from Aurora. 42.
Thank
6
you.
months.
You're a sweetheart. Really appreciate that.
Thank
Pete,
you
I was
so
realizing
much.
I want to change the sound for that. I feel like it should be like
to a poop.
Yeah, like that would be funny, or like a boing, boing, boing. So it goes with the like bounce. Well, we really appreciate you, Icarus. You just, I don't know if you, but you did something and now I can't like hear me. So I don't know if I just got quiet. Let me know if I just got quiet, guys.
That's sensitive.
I'm very quiet. Yep, went way down. I heard it too. Well, you did. Nope, it's still quiet. Don't know what you did, but I don't hear me like at all. Don't mess with stuff right before.
Well, you were loud on the.
Can you hear me at all?
That looks better.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
I hit my leg.
Okay, good. Pete like pushed a button. He's like, I wish I could do this in real life. Now she can't talk.
Oh, it'd be so nice. Hello, Cater Pants.
I'm back, and I'm wearing bright pink lipstick today, which I thought was way brighter than it actually looks when I took a picture of myself.
Hey, Chille. I imagine Chille being like, oh no, not your leg. He's like, try having your chair break when you're sitting on
Are
it.
you okay, Chille? How are you feeling? I'm sorry I didn't check in with you today. I was super busy all day. So my
Hello,
job
Mizuki.
where I work, it's technically 3 people that do the same job, and we've been down to 2 people for probably the past 6 or 7 months, and now the other guy is on vacation, so now it's just me. So I got a lot. Aw, sorry, hon. Don't forget to ice it.
I feel like your audio went out again. I didn't even
His
touch it
chair
that
broke.
time.
My audio go out? I'm trying plugging me into number 2 again. Let me just do that. I don't know why it does. Oh, that did it. That fixed it. That's way better. It's crazy, guys. This is a brand new mic.
Now you're way loud.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of yelling. This is a brand new mic though, and I guess, and this is a second chord we've tried, and we're.
I don't think we've tried
different
other
chords.
chords, and now you just went out again.
Do you have another chord somewhere I can use? I know I've tried another chord.
Exciting stuff, I know.
Free podcast. God, you're the slowest unvelcroer ever. It's confusing. Much cable.
Told you it wasn't my fault.
What the fuck? It never ends.
Believe me, if I coded the software, nothing would work.
Hello? Nope, that didn't do it. Still sounds bad.
I don't think that's it.
Ugh, okay. Put some muscle into it. How's that sound?
Did a kitty chomp it?
Sounds better.
He definitely might have.
I know. Right? It is a possibility. This is really long, though. This is going to bug. So many technical difficulties.
Yeah, you keep going out.
Bill? Hello? Oh, my eye hurts.
Now it could be the microphone. We don't know.
Is it better?
It is for now, but
Let's talk a little bit before we start the podcast then, so you don't be like, and her voice is gone again.
all right. If you guys want to... Oh, no, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay. Did I just cut out again? I think I just cut out again. Sounds like it did. I can't hear me.
Where's your old microphone, Avi?
I don't know.
Where'd you put it?
In the closet?
Hey, Ian. Sorry, guys. We're dealing with a little bit of technical difficulties. Even though Avi's mic is new, we're trying to test out why it keeps on going out. Got all the power going to the mixer.
Awesome.
Well, we'll try plugging you into mine right now, Avi, and see if that's it. Try talking into that one, though. I just find them.
I'm number one. I'm number one.
Let's have a bunch of cat hair in them.
Is there like another on-off switch back here that I should have been? I might have gotten messed with. No.
There is a switch. You can mess with it, but it's not on-off. Or maybe your old one did.
Yeah, this one doesn't have a switch. All right, so then let me. So we're sticking with the new cable.
So sorry, guys.
Sorry. Why don't you mute it? Get it over there.
Just have Avi use flashcards. no. Try it like that. Or a whiteboard, or maybe some American Sign Language. Yeah, I saw that coming.
Don't judge me.
Judge her. Judge her.
I'm not good at this kind
Well, if we swap mics and the mic is the problem, then it's gonna be my problem. I don't know how Avi breaks all her mics though. Look at that SingStar mic.
Where's the front? I did this before. How do I know which end is the front?
Just the front.
Okay, turn the thing.
I think.
You think?
That's right. Think she only needs one finger to respond to most things?
Right. Hear me?
Jesus Christ, Avi. Oh, I had you muted. You told me to mute you.
Hello? Technical. You guys finally got to see what's in the door behind me.
We can hear you, but let's see how long it lasts.
All right, so yeah, we're going to give it a second to see if it cuts out again. Sorry, trying to adjust the thingies. We're back. For now. It was a mic, but that was my new pretty mic. Look at how pretty it is. You guys, it's gold.
Gonna have to return that shit. It wasn't cheap.
No. But it's so pretty.
R.I.P. Mike.
I know, I should have a funeral for the mic. Oh my god, if they had a pink one, that'd be so cool. All right, it seems to be stained.
I feel like you broke every mic because you hit it like 3 times a show and you're just banging the shit out of it.
I've gotten better at not doing that for the most part. I blame the cats. I think the cats somehow should be at fault.
You're always adjusting it.
I'm going to turn this. Sorry, guys. Okay, there you go. Now it's 2 times?
All right,
Wait, no, are you hearing me twice? Oh, what's 2 times?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Now you broke two mics. That's what I'm assuming he's going.
I hit it 2 times instead of 3.
All right, Avi, we're already 15 minutes in. We only got 45 minutes to go.
Woohoo!
All right, you ready, Avi?
I think so. Seems to be holding up.
I'm ready.
Thank you guys for being here for our technical difficulties.
You guys are ready.
That's why you're here
You
live,
guys.
right? So you can see the fun
guys.
bits. Wait. It's like when I wanted my downstairs to look like a fairy wonderland.
You're right. I forgot
I meant my basement.
You're right. I forgot to go grab that clip.
He's okay. I'm not all that upset about it.
Hey, all of you out there in Eorzea. Oh, I was too loud.
KK, I love that emote.
Hey, all of you out there in Eorzea, welcome to She Heals I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Today is Friday, November 22nd, and this is episode 195 of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Vegan Pete, always by my side, the wonderful, the lovely.
Hey guys, Avi Ale here.
You're
How
just
you doing?
waiting for all those extra compliments that you said you hated last time.
I thought you were going to be like making some mean things about the whole microphone situation that only people here on Twitch got to see.
No, that was a Twitch exclusive. All the technical difficulties.
How many mics can Avi break?
Thank you so much for being here, Avi, with your broken mics and everything. And thank you all for joining us, whether you're listening via the podcast, watching later via YouTube, or joining us here live right now at twitch.tv/SheHealsITank. Thank you so much for your support.
You guys are awesome.
Little bit of housekeeping really quick. Next week is Thanksgiving here in America, and we're going to be off next week. Hopefully you all understand. I will have my Tuesday raid stream, but after that we will be off for the week until Sunday.
Because we'll be out of town Wednesday, so we won't be able to do Wednesday, Thursday stream or Friday podcast. But Pete will be here for Sunday morning right?
Yep, Sunday morning Final Fantasy IX, and I don't know exactly how much is left, but it feels like I'm coming to the end, so it might be the last stream. I don't know.
Pete, you forgot the biggest news ever. Tomorrow is my last day of school.
As long as you pass, are we 100? Are we 100% sure?
Oh my God! I'm gonna slap a bitch.
Who are you gonna slap?
You.
Yes, congratulations, Avi. You will have your bachelor's of IT management. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Ooh, I finally learned it after 7 years.
I know, it only took that long. But so that means we'll be back to streaming on Wednesdays together for our dual stream, hubby and wife. Thursday, Hyper Pixie and I will be streaming, and then Friday's the podcast.
That's it. Good job, Avi.
On Tuesday, you raid.
Yeah.
I forgot about you. I forgot about your raiding. Yeah.
That's the schedule. Speaking of giving thanks to all of you, I want to say a big thank you to some of our subs, or actually all of our subs last week.
Just some of them.
We have
not all of them.
Monochromesy, Azusa the Casual, Nader Raid 19, and WWE Mike G, all first-time subs. And that Mike G one was a gift from Ace Kaneki Overlord. So thank you so much for that, Ace.
Gifts are good.
At 2 months, we have Crow623, Ursa Laser, and Volvasaur768. 3 months, we have Mieko, Final Fantasy XIV. 6 months, Agitated Salamander, half a year. At 9 months, Vic X Ulf. And 10 months, Mog Moxie. 11 months, Psyche Games. 12 months, just getting to that year mark, we have Midnight N713 and Broly489. 13 months, we got a Hyper Pixie Gaming. 16 months, we got a Venjek. 18 months, KKMacleod. 22 months, Eskimono Phono. And 26 months, we got Wando25.
I know it went on forever, Pete.
Finally got above the number in his name.
That's true. Oh my gosh, we're older than you, Wando, by months.
I think we have a fun show tonight, Avi.
I think we have a fun show every night, Pete.
That's very debatable. And sometimes I don't think we're going to have a fun show, but we end up having a fun show anyway.
Crabby. You guys miss Crabby Pete. I get to see Crabby Pete.
Crabby and Crappy. Last week, we talked about patch 5.1 MSQ, and this week we want to hear from you about what we missed, about what we got wrong, what you loved or hated, what you think deserves more talking about. Did we gloss over your favorite part? Whatever you want to talk about with 5.1, you're welcome to call in. All you have to do is join our Discord, and we'll take your call right after the Teaching Pete lore section. And we got another Twitch Prime sub, this one for 2 months from Nahaj. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll be leading into everyone's favorite segment,
Greenleaf Minute.
It's the Greenleaf Minute. And this week we have some quick hitters, Avi, that were posted in our Greenleaf section of our Discord. And I think you'll be able to handle this first one. What is a healer check?
Healer check is the same, well, but different. Like you'll hear healer check or DPS check. You'll kind of hear both of those phrases. A check means it's going to like check your skills. So you're expected to have to heal a lot in this fight or in this moment. Same with the DPS. You're going to expect a lot of DPS output in this moment. So basically, if you know there's a healer check in a fight or a moment in it, then you actually hold on to your big heals if you can, or know when to prioritize them, because you know there's a healer check coming up, so you want to be able to use those. And you definitely understand it more so when you understand, you know the fight a bit better, and you learn the elements. And there is no tank check, because all tanks do is hit 1, 2, 3.
Well, the tank checks are tank busters.
The tank checks are healer checks.
Because if tanks don't use their cooldowns, there's no healer check. We just die. That's a res check.
So you press
better res that mofo.
So you go, oh, I hit the defensive thing, and if the healer doesn't heal me after I do the defensive thing, I die. So tank checks or healer checks.
So yes, that's pretty much it. There'll be times at certain fights. It's mostly for like raids. I think it was Weeping City of Mock. There was one Mock raid where I forget what the move is called, but it basically dropped everyone's HP down to 0. So you have to start healing everyone up before the next move comes out and kills people.
Well, like a baby healer check can be considered if you're a healer check, I would say, if you're in a dungeon and you have an undergeared tank who doesn't know how to use cooldowns, who's pulling the entire dungeon.
That's not exactly what people are talking about for a healer check, though. It's more of a specific mechanic, a specific part of the fight.
I mean, sometimes people say this entire fight's a healer check, and it's a very healer-focused fight. So I think it depends upon interpretation. And so when I said it's a baby version of that, it's a baby. It's like kind of gives you an idea of what it is. If you're ever healing a dungeon and you have a tank in that situation where their life is going down so much that you can't actually DPS because you're having to put so much effort into keeping that person alive.
Yeah, and I think
it's your first taste of a healer check.
What you just talked about DPS right there is correct. When someone's saying a fight is a healer check, like the whole fight is a healer check, it probably means you're not going to be able to DPS as much as you're used to.
You have to focus on heals.
Kind of have to hold back a little bit to be able to heal everyone to full or heal the tank to full, whatever type of damage is going out, whether it's single target or AoE. And KKMacleod even added to this in our Discord. Occasionally there will be a fight where Doom goes out on someone and you have to heal them up to 100% or else the Doom is going to kill them.
Yeah, it's going to kill them. So it's the importance of heals and knowing what those debuffs mean. And there's even things you'll have to Asuna to keep from killing people as well.
So I think that's a good summary of what a healer check is. Another Greenleaf Minute. This one was posted in our Discord, Avi, but you actually were doing it earlier in the week.
Yeah.
And it just kind of... happy coincidence.
And I was like, oh, I do this. And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. So this is like
thermodynamic miracle. I
know. When you're out gathering and say you're gathering for the Ishgard, restoration of Ishgard. And I'm weird. Like if I'm gathering items for crafting something and I need equal amounts of these two items that I both have to gather, I want to gather relatively equal amounts of them. That's just how I work. And so an easy way to keep track of how many of those items you've gathered is you can actually drag the item onto your hotbar so you can see the number go up without having to keep opening your inventory tab to see it. Now, do mind that it will cap out, I think, at 999.
No, it doesn't.
Does it?
No. If you put it on your hotbar, it does not cap out at 999.
Well, there you go. So, it's just a really easy way to keep an eye on how many of the items you've gathered.
In your actual inventory, it will cap out at 999. But if you put it on your hotbar, it will tell you the exact amount.
Cool.
And I don't do that because I don't like taking up hotbar space.
Did we also, by the way, I don't mean to interrupt, but KK just mentioned something that was another trick that was kind of shared in our crafters and gatherers that I love. We call it the ABC trick. So there's your way marks, the A, B, and C, D for party when you're doing like mechanics, but you can use those markers personally, and when you're gathering an item, there's generally 3 spots that you're going to gather between. You're going to fly between these 3 spots.
Older Realm Reborn will have 4, and you can use the D.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. I did not gather then. But so what you can do is put one of those markers in each of the spots, like relatively where they are, and you can then see on your mini map very easily where you have to fly instead of going, crap, which spot was next, because you want to go in the same order because that's kind of how they respawn. So it's a real easy way to go A, B, C, and then you just kind of repeat that without, it's one less element to have to think about when you're gathering, so you could really get into that Netflix or Disney Plus show you've been watching.
It is nice for that when you're distracted.
Mm-hmm.
I will say sometimes I always just like learning where the nodes are so you don't have to rely on the waymarks. But I have that same opinion in life. I will never use GPS to go somewhere for the first time. I'll print out a map and drive myself there.
Hey, Pete.
Because I only have to go there once and then I remember where it is.
You're old.
You missed the perfect opportunity to say, okay, boomer.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Avi doesn't even know what OK Boomer is.
I know OK Boomer. I also know that people are already over it. So if you're using it now,
that's
you're
actually
already
a meme I still find funny.
Oh. How often does he get lost?
I never get lost.
He doesn't.
I only have to go somewhere once, and then I know how to get there.
He doesn't go new places, so he acts like this, but he never goes anywhere new.
We went to Portland. I could find my way back to Portland without having a map.
Yeah, go north. It's real easy.
Let's get back on track. I should not have derailed this.
All right.
Last Greenleaf quick hitter we have is Duty Finder penalties. Someone posted that they were in I'm not sure if it was a dungeon. I think it was actually an Innocence fight. and they decided to leave. And if you're the first one to leave, you are going to get a penalty for leaving. If you leave after someone has left, you will not get a penalty. So when it's not a full group again, you will not get a penalty.
By the penalty, he means the penalizes, then you can't queue for another duty.
You can't use, you won't be able to queue in Duty Finder or even as a pre-formed party into, it's a 30-minute penalty.
If you're in an active fight, or an active.
So that's why sometimes you're in a 24-man raid and there'll be one person who keeps on asking to abandon because they don't want to get the penalty, but they want to leave. And then you go, fuck you, take the penalty if you want to leave.
Yep. And then that's also why if you see one person leave, you might have a handful of other people immediately leave after them because then they can leave without the penalty.
So, but it is. If you're already in content and you leave, that's a 30-minute penalty. If
you're queuing for an instance or a fight, then you it says accept or withdraw or decline. Right? I don't know. Is it accept? My brain.
Accept or withdraw.
Withdraw. Okay, I made up decline. If you withdraw at that point on the third time, you'll get that same penalty. So that is how that penalty works for queuing for content.
Yep. So do your best not to withdraw 3 times.
Because they're like, I withdrew the one time and I thought I got 3 chances, but you only get 1 chance if you're actually in the instance.
Yeah, and we've had that hit our groups before. We just formed to get into this content. And then let's say we had 1 open spot, but we were queued, and then someone logs into the FC and they're like, oh, I can go. And someone hits withdraw, forgetting that they already withdrawed 2 times earlier. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, so we waited for this person and now I can't go.
Yeah, it's happened. I'm sure it's happened to most everyone. They've had that happen to them. It is always a bummer.
So that sucks. Don't let it happen to you guys. All right. Quick hitters, Greenleaf Minute. I love it. Let's move on to... That was the wrong part.
Yeah, it was. Do you want to do that segment now? Do it out of order since you did the audio?
No, because I told people to call in after teaching Pete lore.
Oh, okay. You're just in a rush.
Where's my button? No. Oh, do I have? Yeah. Where is it?
I did not. I feel like.
There it is.
I have no. I immediately thought that chat was going to come in and be like, Avi deleted the button. So I want to make sure you guys know that I did not delete the button. Thank you so much for the bits early on. That is super sweet of you.
So yeah, I'm kind of sober right now, so I don't know where all my buttons are.
Oh, darn. The douchiest intro of all time.
It's the tweet of the week. And I got to say, the Twitter game was kind of off this week.
I think that's our fault. We were kind of quiet.
I know it was our fault. Might have been your guys' fault. I don't know.
Ooh, Pete, no, bad.
Might have been.
It's your fault.
Might have been.
It's Pete's fault. It's always Pete's. Avi's right, and it's Pete's fault.
Thank you for that, host Johnny 5.
Thank you.
But this tweet of the week comes from Discord. And it's from John Yunkel. So this is like a tweet of the week inside a commenter of the week, who commented on the Casual Hardcore podcast to get the 2 from She Heals I Tank on your podcast.
Which is Work to Games.
And it's Work to Games podcast. And Work to Games said, message them after seeing this comment. And of course, they're true to their word. They did message us. We had actually been planning something a while ago.
We tried
and then it got just kind of delayed and lost. Schedules didn't work out. But this time, we have worked out our schedules. And both us and Work to Game like to give the people what they want. So if you want us on their podcast, we're going to go on their podcast. They're going to have us on the podcast Wednesday, January 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific.
I wanted to ask you, Pete, so just really quickly. We are on episode 195 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do the math to make sure that that's not the same week as our 200th episode?
I mean, it's not Friday, so it doesn't matter.
I know. But did we lose me again? They're saying we lost me again.
Oh, no.
Sorry, guys. I'm back. Sorry for that loud. Hopefully, Pete can edit that out. My mic has been. I'm actually on mic number 2 before we even started the podcast because my mic. They don't like me. I think
just
I must.
Don't touch it anymore.
I didn't touch it at all. I think I'm loud now too. I apologize. The mics don't like me. I think I must put off some sort of energy that makes the mics stop working or something. I don't know. I'm super sorry. And for Pete, you should have muted it before you pulled it out.
that wouldn't help. All right, so we're going to be on Casually Hardcore Wednesday, January 15th, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
All right.
Now it's time for news and notes from around the realm.
I like occurrences that you're getting vibe checks by the mics. I know, right? So last week we mentioned Phil Spencer from Xbox saying that they are definitely having plans to bring Final Fantasy XIV to Xbox. And this week we had lots of outlets reporting that Final Fantasy XIV is actively being developed for PlayStation 5. However, Square Enix has clarified that this with a release saying, while not a confirmation, Yoshida-san expressed a hope that Final Fantasy XIV Online may one day appear on the next generation of Sony console. So, no actual official confirmation yet, but given the popularity of Shadowbringers, honestly, I can't imagine them not coming out with a PS5 version. So just imagine the next expansion releasing on what we have now, and the PS5 and the next Xbox, possibly something like Google Stadia. Who knows? If all that happens, FFXIV is definitely going to hit a new high in active subscribers.
Yeah, with all of the critical acclaim that Shadowbringers was getting, I don't see them not letting them develop for PlayStation 5 or whatever the new Xbox is going to be called.
Yeah.
And Yoshida's already said, I want to bring it to as many freaking platforms as I can. If he can get it...
He said frickin'. That's like his favorite word.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
If he could get it on the Switch, he wants it on the Switch. He wants it on your old Nokia.
No, he doesn't want it on the old
phone.
things. He only wants it on new. He's like, give me that 5G, baby. That's what he wants.
He wants it so you can play Final Fantasy XIV and Snake. Remember that game?
I remember Snake.
Okay. Much earlier in the year, we had talked about Yoshida receiving a promotion to head of Square Enix's Business Division 3. This month, it was reported from RPGFan.com that Square Enix is working on 2 next-gen core titles, one of which is from Yoshida's Division 3.
Ooh.
They have a quote from Yoshida saying, following Final Fantasy XIV, we have launched a new core project and have begun the challenge for the next generation. This project has already completed its initial development, has completed environment development, and is now moving into full-scale, large-scale development phase.
Ooh, fancy.
So Yoshida has said in the past that he would love to work on a standalone Final Fantasy title, saying he would take it back to pure fantasy without much mecha. So he maybe is getting a shot. We don't know what it is.
Wild speculation.
I really hope he is, because
hopefully we get some 16 action. Yoshida 16.
I'd love to see what Yoshida comes up with for
really
his
cool.
standalone game.
This man must not sleep.
I would say whatever the game is, whatever he's working on, I can't imagine how busy his schedule
Who needs sleep when you've got Final Fantasy,
must
right, guys?
be. But I gotta
do.
say, like, luckily for us, it seems that for the most part, the Final Fantasy XIV core development team has been intact. Like, since we started playing, it's been
since 2.0.
Yeah, it's been the same people that we've seen at all the fan fests. Like, there hasn't been a lot of turnover, of the people that we can see, the public-facing figures, anyways.
The core people, right?
So the shot callers, if you will.
Soken had better do the music. Oh my god, if he doesn't use Soken, then that's just like an untapped resource. Like, seriously.
That would be like a slap in the face.
Yes.
So I think Yoshida has a great deal of trust with the Final Fantasy XIV development team. So he's probably still there for the big plot points. He wants it to go a certain direction. But I would imagine if he's heading up other games and maybe working on his own standalone game, he has to give a little bit more leeway to his development team to make some of their own choices. You can't micromanage too much.
I'm sure he has other managers that are doing that for him now, is what it is.
Yeah.
He's not giving it to the development team. He's giving it to the managers of the development team.
Middle management. So he's probably not participating in the minutia anymore. But that's just all speculation.
That's what happens when you get to the big dogs.
That's what we do.
So speaking of the hard work of Yoshida and the dev team, they have been recognized because Final Fantasy XIV has been nominated for 3 awards from thegameawards.com. The first award it's been nominated for is Best Community Support, which is in recognition of a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness. Final Fantasy XIV will be up against Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fortnite, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
You've never even played Fortnite. How would you know?
Because I see the kids who do. Actually, dude, okay.
You're talking about my nephew.
I got a side little mini story. So I fix people's iPhones at work, government iPhones, and they use them and can kind of install their own apps on them to a point. There's this guy who's like he's like grandpa to me age. Like he's an older guy still working, and I'm like working on his phone. I was like, I had to update his apps for him. And I was like, John, Fortnite? He had the Fortnite app on his phone.
There's a Fortnite app? I didn't even know that.
He was like, I have a story for that, which I didn't even get to, but it made me really happy.
I wish he would have turned to you and say, okay, boomer.
So the next award they were nominated for is Best Ongoing
Wait,
Game.
well, no, let's talk about this first. What do you think? Do you think their community support is good enough to be nominated for this award?
I don't think I can comment because I don't know what the community support for other games is like.
What I thought was kind of interesting is all these games that it's up against are all shooters. Like, and they will tend to come out with updates, but like not, except for like when Fortnite went to 2.0, had the big black hole and everything. It's updates that are not really huge. It's changing weapons. It's changing DPS of weapons, stuff like that. But like, I feel Final Fantasy XIV does a really good job with all the live letters that they have.
Well, and they were working on adding the Twitter responsiveness for community support. I don't know if that's been fully implemented, but they were working on it and making sure that we're here for you, we hear you. KK, to change the subject a little bit, KK just said he's disappointed they didn't nominate Shadowbringers theme for music, and I 100% agree with that. I feel like even if you aren't a Final Fantasy XIV fan, you can't deny that the music is just insane.
I did make a note at the end of the section. Looking at the other categories, I definitely think it should have been nominated for Best Score and Music as well.
Oh, sorry, Pete. I didn't proofread.
3 weeks in a row.
The next award it was nominated for, which I started to mention before, is Best Ongoing Game. And this award goes to a game for outstanding development for ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Any guesses as to who the competitors are for this category, Pete?
All the same ones.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fortnite, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Again, all shooters. Best ongoing game. I mean, that's what the trend is now. It's the battle royale shooter.
Yep, that is the thing. Kooky Persona chat just said that. Don't forget our previous Final Fantasy XIV community manager Chenin did move to Fortnite.
Uh-oh.
Can't fault that.
Avi's talking shit about Fortnite up in here. I heard Rainbow Six Siege is
there's more money there for
pretty
sure.
good, and it does have a story as well, and it's not just a battle royale. But I haven't played, so I don't know if that's true or just what I heard.
And finally, we have the Best Role-Playing Game Award, which I think would honestly be the most prestigious of the 3 awards they've been nominated for, simply because that is their genre. And this award goes to the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. Final Fantasy XIV has some new competition with this category. Other games nominated are Disco Elysium, Kingdom Hearts 3, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and The Outer Worlds.
Yeah, I know 3 of those. I don't know Disco Elysium, but Kingdom Hearts 3, Monster Hunter, and Outer Worlds, that's some pretty tough competition. So I think if they win that will be pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's the most prestigious one as well.
I don't know. I think that the ongoing game is pretty awesome too.
I don't know. You look at the competition for that one, and it's like, all right, you beat out Fortnite.
I think that's a big deal to beat out Fortnite. That's the thing. That's why I think that's a big deal. I mean, but and for this last category, Monster Hunter has a huge following, and in chat, Ian Cho just said that Disco Elysium is very good from what they've heard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think best role-playing game. I think when you're a creative type, that's probably what you want. You want to be like, we are the best role-playing game out there.
But it's also like for an MMO. I don't mean to argue this on this, but to be an MMO and nominated for ongoing game content, that's important too.
Yeah, and I think in that vein, it says a lot that Final Fantasy XIV is pretty much the only MMO, the classic fantasy MMO.
Right.
Like
even showed up.
Technically, Fortnite's an MMO, but
really?
Massively multiplayer online.
I guess it is, yeah. My brain immediately goes with like more of the fantasy side and not the first person.
Final
shooter.
Fantasy would be a MMORPG. I think it's saying that they're the only one that was nominated for any of these awards. I didn't see any Elder Scrolls Online. I didn't see any World of Warcraft.
I was kind of surprised to not see that, actually.
So congratulations to the Final Fantasy dev team.
Yeah, that's
Amazing
really
job.
cool. You guys rock.
Square Enix is having a Red and Black Friday sale, only they aren't waiting until Black Friday, Abby.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, all digital games are discounted starting today, while physical versions and merch will go on sale after November 27th. All digital games. I don't know if I said that. There are dozens of discounts offered up to 90% off some games and up to 50% off merch. From November 28th to December 3rd, Final Fantasy XIV, the Complete Edition, including the base game and all expansions, will be 50% off, as will the Shadowbringers expansion on its own. You can also get some deals on games such as Kingdom Hearts 3, Tomb Raider, and Nier Automata. And Avi's finishing school this weekend, which means she'll hopefully have some time to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yay!
Maybe I should grab that while it's 50% off.
That'd be very nice of you.
She just wrote that as
No, I didn't.
As
I was
was
actually
reading
changing all the pronouns, and I didn't get to change the I because I was actually I wrote this section, and I said maybe I should grab that while it's 50% off. And then I just thought it would be funny just now to not change that pronoun. And then make you say that on stream and be like, yes, you should.
See, I'm not Ron Burgundy. I can change stuff.
But you didn't.
I write stuff wrong all the time and correct
yes, you
it in real time.
I will have to see how the stream schedule works out. I would have no problem streaming that if we can make it work out. I did not play the I don't know if it was Switch or whatever it was on. I only played like the full Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I did not play the one that was on whatever other.
Switch wasn't out 20 years ago, honey.
I'm gonna slap you so hard your beard falls off your face.
That'd be amazing. On the Elemental Gaia Mana data center, after it was suspended in September, Square Enix will be recommencing housing automatic demolition with patch 5.15 in December. The exact date is to be determined. Basically, remember to walk into your house.
This is only for Elemental, Gaia, and Mana data centers.
So, be sure to walk into it now.
Yeah.
Because usually when they do this recommencement of automatic demolitions, let's say you already had not entered your house for 15 days when it went into suspension. If you don't go into it now, you're going to start at 15 days that you haven't gone in.
Right.
So
don't risk it.
If you're listening, just go into your fucking house.
Go into your house.
And why are you not going into your house anyways?
And just a heads up, there will be an all-worlds maintenance for some patch 5.1 hotfixes on November 25th from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is this upcoming Monday night.
And for all of you out there that did not take the free Windows upgrade,
I'm so sorry. Why would you stay on Windows 7?
Square Enix is ending support for Windows 7 for Final Fantasy XIV on January 14th, 2020. This coincides with Microsoft no longer providing security updates or support for PCs running Windows 7 after January 14th, so they have found that continuing support for this operating system is kind of a difficult proposition.
It's a dead end.
You will likely be able to play Final Fantasy XIV on Windows 7 after the end of support. However, after they discontinue support, the general rule of thumb is going to be no longer provide like online support for any problems that you might have as a result of the operating system.
And Aurora just said because 10 is trash, but so is 7. So it's not really a valid argument because it's all trash at this point.
I think a lot of people might have stayed on 7 because they didn't like 8, though.
Yeah, well, 10 was actually pretty decent at the beginning, and then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse.
Square Enix may respond to requests for technical support regarding Windows 7 issues after the end of support, but such informal support will be limited on a case-by-case basis and is not guaranteed. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. All right, guys. So at the top of the show, we said we wanted to hear what you guys thought of MSQ for patch 5.1. We're going to get into teaching Pete some lore right now, so join the On Deck channel if you have anything to say about patch 5.1, what we missed, what you loved, what you hated, whatever you want to talk about with 5.1. Join the On Deck circle now.
I will send that link one more time out
teach
for you guys.
Pete some mother effing lore. What would you like me to answer for everyone this week, Avi? What do you want me to explain to people?
So I actually
I'm the
have been
lore master.
I don't have a bunch of questions like stacked up, but I've had a little bit more time. So my schedule's winding down. So I did another open up the lore book, and whatever page I find, I ask a question from.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like that. I really think it's fun. This is another, which is not for you, but it's kind of because it made more sense to be a not than to try to have you name 4 things. So, Ishgard, also the Holy Seas, standard, also known as a flag, just to make sure you totally get it, is an escutcheon, which is the shape of like the symbol.
I stopped listening. What?
The flag has an escutcheon divided into 4 quarters. So the escutcheon's like a shield kind of thing.
Coochie.
And it bears the sigils of the 4 high houses of Ishgard. Well, I'm not going to make you name the 4 high houses of Ishgard. What I am going to ask, of the following,
Hallionart,
which is not a sigil of one of these high houses?
Oh, you son of a bitch.
It's a visual question. A, rose. B, bell. C,
like bell, like that you ring.
Yeah, like a big,
or
like
the
a
girl
church bell
from the Disney movie.
Yes. C, axe. D, unicorn. E, turret. And do you know what a turret is?
Yes, I know what a turret is.
What is it?
It's a little thing from Portal that shoots you.
It's like the round castle.
Machinists have them.
No, it's like a castle. It's like a rook. Like a rook, the rook piece from chess.
Okay.
That's a turret.
I know what a turret is.
He's had a similar question to this, KK?
Yeah, but I still haven't gotten it right. Probably.
I thought you got them all right.
I mean, I got them all right. I nailed it. A machinist. I swear to God, I had 3 people who said they wanted to talk about 5.1. None of them have joined on deck.
Oh, no. You want me to name it again?
Is this like super easy? Is it? I don't ever remember seeing a unicorn. Is there a unicorn?
That's the only one that should have been easy.
All right, I'm not picking unicorn.
I'm gonna slap you so hard.
Okay, give me the other ones. Don't give me the rook. The turret.
A, rose. B, bell. C, axe. D, unicorn. E, turret.
Wait, that was 5 choices?
Yes, because there are 4 symbols on there, so one of these 4 is not on there. Oh, KK was this was his question. That's why I'm sorry. Well, even I forgot KK. I phrased it differently.
So there's definitely a unicorn. I definitely remember a unicorn.
It's Horschifon's freaking shield, you son of a butt.
Couldn't tell. There's a big old hole in it.
Too soon.
A bell's kind of lame, but I can definitely see a bell being one of them. An axe is kind of cliche, but I could definitely see that being one of them too. What are the other 2? Turret and
a rose.
And a rose.
Remember, one of their sigils is a unicorn.
Yeah. Like I feel like a turret should be there, but then you just might have picked the chess piece.
No, I would have put rook. I mean, well, I guess I didn't mean to just give you that.
Haha, fucker. All right, I'm going with the rose.
Is that your final answer?
It's my final answer.
You are what wrong.
Right. Yeah.
The answer is axe.
Damn it. Why they gotta be... Damn it. I thought they were all basic bitches, but I guess I didn't pick the basic bitch one.
I thought that I made it different enough that it was the only one that was actually a weapon that it would make it stand out.
I thought there would have been like one like jock house. They're like, we got an axe.
We got an axe.
We're awesome. We're big. We're strong.
That's the turret. Represents
turret's
like
kind of lame. You're just like sitting up on a fucking castle
shooting arrows people.
Avi asked the question and Pete couldn't answer it. Oh,
he answered it. He just answered it while we're wrong.
I answered it.
So wrong.
All right. So we have...
I should try to make like a really difficult question for you because I try to do like mid-range where they're like kind of difficult, but I think you can get it. What I need to do is just like make it so difficult that I think you won't get it. And then you'll just shock me and get it like perfectly right.
Have you heard the questions when I make lore questions when we have a giveaway or something? How easy they are? That's the kind of questions I'm expecting.
Pete wants some kindergarten lore, y'all.
Think about Pete. What would Pete think of? Ask me that.
You know what, Pete? I'm sorry that I think you're smarter than you are. I give you too much credit.
You know, I'm that like weird level of smartness where I'm like, I know I'm not that smart, but I wish I was either much smarter or much dumber.
Because you didn't know so you don't know how much you don't know.
I wish I was so dumb that I thought I was smart.
Oh God, I wouldn't have married you if you were that guy. That's not a joke.
I'm like, I'm okay. I could be better.
I put effort into it, you know.
Not the best. All right. We do have one person who joined the On Deck channel, and that is our good friend KKMacleod. So, KK, are you in here? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I hope you can hear me. I know the mic is only okay.
All right. I think we got you.
Yep, you good.
What did you have to tell us about 5.1, or did you have a beef with the way Avi read the lore question she stole from you?
No, I only stole part of it. Literally, Pete, the question, which you didn't see in chat, sorry, KK, was his question was, what was the symbol on Horschifon's shield? And it was the unicorn.
That was it.
That was the part that you're like, no one's got a unicorn. That was the part that was an actual question.
I would have said a hole.
Valid. It's not wrong. It's not right either. And thank you so much for that follow. I don't know.
Imagine purple.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got for us, KK?
I was scared it was another one where they were going to make me say stuff that sounded bad when I said it out loud.
Well, what I was going to go or try to talk about, I don't know what you guys were thinking or on this, was the whole, pretty much as soon as you get to Amarat to the end of 5.0, there's just so much to unpack there. There's no way you could have been able to cover it in your story.
Yeah, so his issue is our too long didn't read recap.
But even still, there's just so much good stuff in there. There's the whole, the real questions or the theories and stuff like that they barely talk about was in the city of Amarat. There was an issue with, there was something happening. They were getting like earthquakes, I think is what they mentioned. And they're like, oh, what the hell is causing it? And they're like, I don't know, maybe a big fucking monster is causing it. And then they started like, because of that, they willed monsters into existence that created their own calamity.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is, it's kind of, that's actually kind of telling of humanity too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's aliens.
So then they will these monsters into existence, and they're like, oh crap, this is destroying the world. So they try to figure out a way to give life to the star, which is another question. Were they influenced? Was there a zodiac influence that happened before, or did they actually breathe life into the star? Because you're going solely on MXL's word, which he is truthful, but it's his truth.
It's his truth.
He's very much an unreliable narrator.
No,
like, you cannot
I disagree with you, Pete. I agree with KK. It's his truth. Because
it's his truth.
It's his truth. I think he believes everything he's saying. But there's always there's three truths. There's your truth, my truth, and what actually happened.
And then they barely mention in one of the side quests where they talked about there was the debate side quest, and there was like a city or a city state or another country outside of Amarat, and they're like, hey, should we help these people out? And they had a debate about it. So it's not just the Ascians or the Amaratians or whatever you want to call them that existed. There were other people there that weren't the same. I believe they didn't have creation magic. So was there conflict between these people? And maybe they're the ones that were helping out with the whole summoning of Heidelin, because they're like, hey, these guys summoned a god that can grant wishes, essentially. There's so much other stuff there that you have to like, what happened?
Where was
I definitely.
Wait. Where was this side quest, KK? Because I didn't do that, and
Probably
I really would
Amarat.
like to.
You had to do it because it was one of the flight unlock quests.
Oh, okay. No, so I probably started it but didn't finish it, and then went, I'll get back to that, and forgot about it.
I feel like I remember something like that. There were definitely other people on the world that weren't like Amaratines. They weren't advanced as that.
Well, no, but there were a lot of those little side quests that you had to start to get flying done, but I had a really tight schedule, and so in my head, I was like, I want to go back and do all of these. There were a lot of those little awesome side story quests, one with like the snake, and then, the one who was giving birth, and like there's all these different that I haven't finished yet.
The Great Serpent of Ronka.
Oh my god, I love that. So I may have started that and not finished it.
So did you have any
really
other theories about that, or?
Well, it's not theories. It's more questions and speculations, and what do other people think about things? What really happened, and what was? It seems like his plan, because what they did is so they summoned Zodiac and they fixed the world. They stopped the calamities from happening, and then the world was. I think they sacrificed half the people to do that.
Yes.
And of course, they said, "Oh, they willingly sacrificed half of their people."
Though?
That's what MSQ says. But how true is that?
Right.
I found that very truthful, actually.
Well, from him though, his opinion, he is one of the higher ups in the political world of them. So what he may see and has been presented to him as like voluntary may not have actually been voluntary for some of the more oppressed people.
Okay, that I believe with you, that it might not have all been voluntary, but I do believe they at some point sacrificed people.
Oh yeah,
like of their own people.
I actually, but I really find this interesting, KK, that you're saying, like, I don't remember this side quest, and I don't remember, like, the concept of there being other people, which kind of makes me wonder if MSQ would have even, like, I want to take away the word people and say that there are other races.
I think we talked about that a little bit, and I made the analogy that MSQ kind of thinks of us as cattle.
No, Pete, this is his original world.
I think there were people like that where he just thought they were cattle. They were animals. He's the human.
That's kind of what we're talking about. Yeah.
Well, Pete actually makes a good point there. Kind of what is that MSQ was always saying, "Oh, because you're a shard, you're beneath me. Because you're a fragment, you're beneath me." But it really turns out that they only care about their exact people. They don't even. I don't think they really care about some of their surrounding city-states that did seem to exist.
No.
And I didn't get to their final plan. So after they fixed the calamities, then they sacrificed another half the people because the planet was so polluted from the calamity, so they killed more people.
Mm-hmm.
And then the plan, even before Heidelin stepped in, was I think he was going to sacrifice some of the other people to bring back his own Amoradians. That was their original plan before they got sundered.
That makes me wonder if, like, half of the people, like how half the population died, if it was only half of his population, and it wasn't the rest of the world doing it. It was just them doing that.
Exactly. So who do they sacrifice? Were they looking to sacrifice other people? I mean, I don't think that MSQ would have, had two thoughts about some other city-state in the original source. Yeah, let's kill them off to bring back my people.
Right, because my people is only the true race. It's the only one that really matters. It's kind of how he views
but
everyone.
It's not just about who got sharded and all this other stuff that he likes to tell us. That's what he's giving us. He only cares about Amarot and then screw everybody else.
Yeah, that level of prejudice doesn't just happen from like that one instance.
So there seems to be a lot to look at and unpack and just think about, like, what really happened, and you just wish you had one other point of view from that area.
I think we will be getting more points of views in future patches, or at least I'm hoping.
Well,
I don't
the one
know.
guy we talked to
too.
in that, I can't remember, does it start with an H? He was
Hydrophilus.
Hydrophilus. Yeah, like I would imagine that we might see him again.
It'd be nice.
That would be really nice.
I mean, I think a lot of people liked him.
Mm-hmm. And because he is at this point, at this juncture, like, he's really the only other truth we can get.
Yeah. Totally agree on that.
Well, hopefully, maybe we can try to get Heidelin's perspective, because
bullshit.
I really
we're not
going to
get Heidelin's. No.
Well, we need to at least say, "Yo, Heidelin, I got some questions for you."
Do you think that's actually going to happen? I actually don't see them doing that.
I don't see any reason why we couldn't try to figure out a way to, like, hey, I want to talk to you. I got something to ask you.
I agree, but I don't actually see Square Enix doing that with the story.
How it's setting up, I don't see that either. But how it's setting up, I can kind of see us getting maybe Zodiarc's point of view, with Xenos wanting to basically absorb Zodiarc, and we get some sort of interaction with that.
Yeah, I don't see the goodness of Heidelin being fully taken away.
Because if Zodiarc's like, no, Heidelin really didn't fuck with me that much, like, that would be a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So that was mostly just because was always in my thoughts after I did all that. Like, well, what about this? And how many different things can you think about and do speculations on, and what was really happening, and little tidbits that were kind of easy to to not really pay attention to when you're getting to the end of Shadowbringers and you just want to go kick his ass type of thing.
Right. No, I love this. I fully miss that. And for me, it's a combination of I want to kick his ass. I'm enjoying the story. I got to do this whatever bit of spare time I have so that I get it done, talk about it on the podcast. So it's all those little things.
That too.
Yeah. So like, I really like that. I really, I need to go back and remember all those little side quests that I want to get all those little extra tidbits on. I'm really excited to have time for that.
All right, so that was all pre 5.1. Did you have anything specific to 5.1 that you wanted to add to?
Not particularly. Not that 5.1 wasn't bad or anything like that. There's some questions that you have, and we can just, most people kind of agree that they think that other Ardbert-looking person is another shard of a Warrior of Light who's trying to, who's been sicked on us because we're the Warrior of Darkness, and it's probably gonna, no offense, but I think it's just gonna just fizzle out pretty quickly. Like when we first saw the Warriors of Darkness in Heavensward, we're like, oh wow, this is gonna be awesome, and then they were like, sure, they came back, but that whole original arc was like over and done pretty quick.
Yep.
Okay, so obviously
I'm done with role quests.
I'm not the biggest lore guy at all.
No.
That's why we have that segment. My dumb first impression when we saw that was, oh, like, is that somehow Hades or Emmett Silk that got absorbed into Ardbert because they threw the axe at it and maybe absorbed that soul somehow? Is that just totally dumb?
That's wild speculation.
It's wild. I don't think it's,
not dumb.
In a game like this, I don't think you can say it's completely dumb. There's some, they could go that way.
Because didn't he say like I'm going to continue our plan or something like that?
No, he said remember us. That was the last thing he said.
Remember us.
Remember us?
Yeah, remember our
that we once lived.
Because remember, we had a whole conversation where I was like, if I was really pissed at him, my whole thing would be like, no, I will not let your people be remembered. That was like my whole thing to truly punish him. If you really want to punish him.
But they're really going to reiterate just putting another shard in the same like kind of body?
It feels kind of weak, yeah.
Okay.
But I think the reason they do that is so that when you, in that moment, that 10-second moment or whatever that you see him, you immediately associate him as a Warrior of Light. It's less about him being in that body and more in the shortest amount of time possible with the least amount of story build up behind it. We're able to say, here's another Warrior of Light who doesn't like you.
To me, I was like, why is Ardbert looking so creepy?
Oh, Pete.
Ardbert from the Mirror Universe.
No, I loved Ardbert so much. A part of me was just excited to see him as Ardbert, and then I was like, wait, what did you just say? That's not our Ardbert. Not our
Ardbert. Well, unless you have anything else to add, KK, I think we're going to move on to 5.1. But since no one else is on deck channel, you can. I will let you stay on if you have.
You're going to let him stay on.
If you have anything to add to what I'm about to bring up, you feel free.
All right.
Okay.
Part of the podcast.
Some things I have been thinking of this week regarding the 5.1 MSQ were Black Rose. We had all this build-up, all this story. We had side stories from Square Enix about Black Rose. And then it was just written out of the storyline with a line saying Xenos got rid of it. What the fuck is my question? Why build up this weapon of mass destruction? Is it truly gone? Are we never going to revisit Black Rose ever again?
I wouldn't say never, but the whole purpose of the Black Rose was to directly feed into the 5.0 story and how the Black Rose is what created the Calamity, which is what made, future people research Omega and Alexander technology, fuse into the Crystal Tower and send Grahatia like 200 years in the past to the First to go and try to fix it and to avert the whole Calamity as caused by Black Rose.
But that was like, we didn't really get that in the MSQ, did we? That was like a side story.
That was all in the MSQ as far as this is, the Black Rose wiped out, created the Calamity.
Well, yeah. Now, but then he said he lied.
Well, I mean, he didn't lie. It was Grahatia's story. He just told Urianger to say, okay, just you say it's your story because I don't want to reveal his identity, which I agree was a completely useless plot point to not reveal Grahatia's identity. We all knew it, and it's not like he was an enemy of ours and, now he's a friend or something.
Yeah. Fuck
but
Urianger.
it was
It's probably the weakest part of the story.
that was one of the weakest parts there. Now, what I wish we could have seen is grotesque. I mean, hell, the Tesleen part was kind of grotesque. I'd like to have seen some of Black Rose in action somewhere, where someone just gets infected and they. I don't know what
KK, you're
happened.
like me now. You're like, I wanted more of that Tesleen.
But it wouldn't
like,
have been
emotion.
like that, because what we know from Black Rose is it basically just stops the flow of aether. So you would have just been like,
Unfortunately, see,
you would
I
have just
want to
been.
see people puking up their brains.
You don't know,
or,
but you don't know
whatever.
what the stopping of ether actually does to
No,
a person. You're picturing it. You're picturing it as if it puts you to sleep.
It's like what the little kid is who is absorbed by light.
I think Pete's kind of got the right.
Yeah.
That pretty much people just stop moving. The aether in their body stop moving, so
But
their
they could
bodies
make
stop
that.
moving.
They could make that look terrifying.
And
it
might.
it could make it look terrifying, and they could
Well,
present
it
it
could
in
have
a
made
way,
it look like you were suffocating or something like that.
or like petrifying.
But didn't we kind of see that? Didn't we? Or we didn't see it happening, I guess. But we came
We saw
across.
the aftermath.
We saw the
somewhere.
aftermath, and
Yeah.
the aftermath is never as impactful. And I agree, KK. Like, so the reason I'm agreeing with you mostly on this is that Tesleen scene with the glitter vomit, like all of that, was the most powerful, the most impactful, and the most painful moment of Shadowbringers.
Yeah, but it wasn't just because of the transformation. Like,
No,
we got
no.
to know her a little bit, and
Right.
she's helping a kid.
I'm agreeing, and I would have loved to see more of that level of character development and that level of, hey, not everyone is safe. We're gonna make you actually care about somebody, and then show some stuff happening. I see you, Chille.
Here's a good person they could have killed off with that. They could have killed off Arnvald, who has the Echo and is kind of like a mini warrior of light.
Yes. With Black Rose, it would have tied in perfectly too. He would have been a nice way to kind of tie into that. He's on the original world.
Okay, but my question on this is: are we done with Black Rose, or do we have Chekhov's Black Rose, and it's gonna come back later?
It's gonna come back later. I think it's gonna come back later. It's not gonna come back later big, but it's gonna come back later.
All right, I think Chille might have something to say about that. So why don't you bring Chille in with us?
Oh, it's gonna be like a whole big old party in here.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
Woohoo!
big
Hey,
old
Chille.
shit orgy.
I don't
Hello?
like that.
Whoa.
Chille's loud.
Okay, that's horrifying.
You're also very loud. Hello?
Oh, now.
Hello.
I think Chille turned himself down, and I turned him down.
All right, Chille. We were talking about Black Rose. Did you have anything to add to the Black Rose discussion?
Well, I'm going to say that I doubt it'll come back.
Okay, Chille thinks we're done with Black Rose.
I think I'm going to agree with Chille on that. That they just said we have to figure out a way to end that and try to say, all right, it's not going to be a problem because Xenos wants a 1v1 again.
And my
Okay, wait,
problem isn't necessarily that we're done with it now. It's that it was like a line that you could have just missed.
So I feel like Black Rose, when I say it's going to come back, I actually don't think Black Rose itself, like the poison, it's going to come back. I feel like the threat of Black Rose may come back. Like they may use it as a thing that might happen, but it's not actually going to happen again. Like they'll find like another source of it.
Because the source of the Black Rose was the light on the first, and we've stopped the first. Therefore, because the reason the Black Rose existed was because you need calamities on both the first and the source.
But with
No,
seeing,
And now that
Rose
we've
was the
stopped the
poison.
first,
but with
there's no
seeing the
reason for
light
it to happen.
outburst,
That
did
was
we
in-
stop it?
No, it was a poison that was in near that big tree in the fringes, and they were able to find that that poison existed, and they
Yeah.
used it in the past, and they were just happening to use that poison to create a calamity.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
think the light
primals and stuff like that.
you're talking about was why we had to restore darkness, because that light was all flowing
Yeah.
into the source. That wasn't Black Rose.
I thought it was being used as one of the components of the Black Rose.
If it was, I
Oh.
did not catch that.
Black Rose was creating a light aspected calamity on the source because as we, learned through some sort of twist, as Urianger explained on and on, was that turns out light makes you go still instead of active. That was like this whole when he went on forever and ever.
They had it
So,
backwards.
We had it backwards.
Mm.
Yeah, light
Yeah.
makes you go still. So they were creating a light aspected calamity by using Black Rose, which makes you go still, which like screws your ether up.
Okay, and talking about going still because of the light and whatever, I don't remember if we talked about this last week, where someone brought up I'm not sure who. I think it was Alice brought up the possibility of being able to undo the tempering of a kobold back on the source, and I forget that guy's name. That little
that's the little
kobold
Titan, the
who
Titan one.
witnessed the
Gabu?
Titan massacre.
Gabu,
Gabu.
yeah.
Goblin or something.
He's so cute.
Do you think we'll ever get that? Because I would love to have a little feel-good story like that.
No, we're not going
I
to get
really
that.
hope
I think
so.
we just got hinted at it. You think-
Really?
I think it'll happen. We've had some scenes with him in before.
Right, but like,
afterwards, so.
I don't think having it will have any more emotional impact than just the idea of it.
So you think they introduced it just to give you the idea, but they don't really
'Cause
want to?
you
they don't
played
really
it all
wanna
out in
pay
your
it off?
head. You paid it all out in your head. Do you really need to see it now? Is that going to add anything to that other than just knowing that it can happen?
I'd
I
like to
think they
see
only
it.
Put it in the, I think they put it in there to relate the player to be like, oh, this person is soul whatever shattered like Gabu is soul
Yeah.
shattered.
It made
Yeah.
me relate it to him and then think, oh, and we can save Gabu. That's so awesome. That's totally going to happen. We don't need to see it happening for us to get any more emotional payoff.
Well, I think we either have to see it happen with Halric in Amarang, we have to see him get better, or we have to see Gabu get better to show that someone can be untempered.
So Ian Show in chat just made a comment of imagine if they killed off Gabu. And they said, like Tesleen, if they killed off Gabu, oh my God, I would be so sad because I adore him and he's a sweetheart. And which makes me say they could totally get some emotional payoff killing Gabu off, which I'm not saying kill Gabu, but that is a route they could go to really make people go,
I don't
oh
really
my
see how you
God.
get to that point, but
no, they could
Gabu
to
becomes
use
a
it
new
as a way
Titan.
to think that.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah. He somehow, yeah.
I didn't hear it.
He somehow
Chille,
becomes
go ahead.
Titan.
Oh.
That would be really good emotional payoff.
I mean, I don't see how that fits into with the story at the moment or
it's
where they're
not-
going.
It's not
but-
filling in with the story at all. It's just so Aurora brings up Moan Brita. Moan Brita, to me, I knew she was going to die the whole time.
She
yeah, she
did.
was created to die.
She was created to die, and that's what bothered me about her character. And they kept doing that after her. I felt that way about a few characters, and that's my problem with the characters they kill. Is like, this bitch gonna die. She's here to die.
But it also brings up the point, like, if this keeps on going this direction, if we're able to save people from being tempered, are the Ascians kind of like tempered by Zodiark? Can we save them? Can we bring them back?
The Scions,
I
or
mean, there's
sorry.
not
The
many
Ascians.
There's only one Ascian left, really, isn't there?
Yeah.
One main
Apart from-
Ascian.
yeah, one main.
Mini Ascian.
Because it makes
apart
it
from
there,
baby
but he's
ones.
the one Ascian who can bring back other Ascians.
But I kind of feel like
Yeah.
Ascians, they can kind of do whatever they want,
No.
and they'll retcon it.
It's not that. It's that this one Ascian can bring back other Ascians.
I know, but I feel like they'll retcon whatever they want to do with Ascians. Be like, oh, you guys didn't know about this.
That is kind of, yeah. They got that plot armor.
Well, actually, I think that that Yoshi P has the next story pretty much figured out as to what's going to happen. Maybe the big final fight with Zodiark or whatever.
Probably.
And then that's the end of that storyline. And I don't think that they have any ideas after that. And unfortunately, I hate to go too far off, but I think the expansion after that might be some random ass thing that doesn't make any sense.
Oh.
Well, I thought I remembered something saying that they have ideas up to 7.0. I could be misremembering.
I do see them ending the Ascian stuff, though. I do see that plot line, it needs to come to an end or it's going to feel played out.
I think we're going to end most of the Ascian stuff this expansion, and
Yeah.
then we're going to start wrapping up Garlemald next expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was actually my next question. Is Garlemald really a threat anymore? Garlemald's in civil war right now. They have a couple of legati fighting for control. Xenos seems to have no want to lead Garlemald. He's just letting them fight. Why would we even fear Garlemald at the moment?
Well, I guess in some ways this is the most feared we can be because they're going to be fighting everyone they see now.
Yeah.
It's not going to be structured.
No, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's chaos now.
Yeah, but they're so fractured. It's not going to be like both or however many legati there are left are going to all be attacking us. They're fighting each
they
other.
might be attacking us now. Well, just think of the ones that aren't in Garlemald itself and the ones that are outposted. They're going to be attacking more often because they've got no.
You think
They're
they
not-
all know what
leadership to tell
happened?
They're not leaders. They're not going to do that. They're going to fall back. They're going to try to figure out what the fuck is going on.
I feel like Xenos is going to play it off like, they just killed my dad. And he
We're
is
not
gonna
even talking
fall
about
into
that.
that leader role. No, but this is part of like the
Oh,
Garlemald
I don't
editing.
think. I really don't
No,
think
Xenos
Xenos
won't
wants
go-
to have anything to do with Garlemald.
He's gonna view him as a tool. It's just a tool. It's not about being in power, being in control. It's a tool. Like even if you
Xenos
don't
did
care.
use. Wait, no, it wasn't Xenos. Never mind. It was that was not Xenos who used Asahi as a tool. That was Elidibus.
But I mean, if he's smart, even if he doesn't care about those people, like it's an angry dog. You use it. You sick an angry dog on some, something. Like it's.
I feel like Xenos doesn't have a need for Garlemald at the moment. He's used it to the best of his ability. He has his henchman that somehow is gonna merge him with Zodiark, and I don't know what Xenos's motivation is completely. He's one of those people who he could want to just end the world and be done with it. Like I think that would be.
He just wants to fight.
Well, before
that's
it
the whole
was-
thing. He just wanted to feel.
But to feel, that was before. It was he
Yeah.
just wants to feel, and so Icarus just said in chat, the angry dog doesn't make the plans. I'm not saying the angry dog is making the plans. I'm saying Xenos is the guy, and Garlemald pretty much as a whole is just to him an angry dog.
Like, and I don't know if he just wants to win, just wants to beat us now that we beat him, and he's totally cool with the whole rejoining of all the shards, and he's like, have at it, Ascians, Amaradians. I did your bidding. I did what you couldn't do, and I killed my rival. Like, if it's going to go that direction, or he doesn't care. He just wants to blow everything up. I really don't know. And
I hope they don't go the anarchist route with him because it's overplayed. It doesn't have a lot of, like, having someone who just wants to kill everything just to kill everything isn't interesting.
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna. Anyone who's watched Naruto, one of the main characters was called Madara, and they hyped him up as the big villain for the whole thing.
Mhm.
I'm feeling like they're gonna pull a Madara on Xenos, where he's gonna be like the big bad, absorb Zodiac, and then in the last patch, he's gonna get taken over by Zodiac.
That to me is played out. That's
Mhm.
it's not that's not exciting to me, like, at all. I actually agree, and chat's agreeing with you too, that that's what's happening, and I really really hope that's not what's happening, because that's happened already. That's been done.
My thoughts on the Garlean thing, what you're talking about with all the is Garlemald a threat? With the factions as they are, you're going to have extremist factions. You're going to have one faction that is wanting to just be much more violent and brutal, and then another faction that might be more peaceful, like I forget what they called them, the guys that Asahi said he was a part of, but really wasn't. I thought it was like Planetus or something. But you're going to have those factions, and so we're going to go in as part of the good faction to help fight the more crazy evil faction, and that's going to be the Garlemald story as we venture further into the Garlemald side, because we are going to want to not let the crazy faction take power.
So you're going to see this ongoing war, and then the Xenos big bad overseeing, not overseeing, but overarching all of it.
I think Xenos is going to be off doing his own thing, and it's going to be, meanwhile, Xenos
That's what I mean, yeah. And then he's going to be the big bad at the end after all that kind of plays out.
It also could be, yep.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any universe where the Eorzean Alliance and Othard team up together and attack Garlemald while they're in disarray?
No.
I think it actually could be with the good Garleans, the ones that we are working with currently. It's all going to be a front, not a front, but I mean a full alliance of people as we try to take out the crazies and install the quote unquote good Garleans, and like, all right, we're gonna try to.
I feel
be
bad
here.
Yeah, I don't know which ones are the good Garleans though, because I feel like all Garleans hate us.
This whole
The ones that
conversation is
Alpha don't
making
want
me
to go
not
see.
look forward to Shadowbringers, you guys. Like, so you basically all you're saying right now to me is that the good story's behind us.
I hate to say it might be.
I really hope not, because all of this sounds like.
Hey, we're at the first. Next expansion will be at the second, and then the third, then the fourth.
This doesn't sound. This sounds done before. None of this sounds new.
So does the whole Final Fantasy XIV end with just everything blowing up?
It already did.
Again, but never to be restarted.
I don't know.
Well, I think the next expansion might be sort of the more boring one again, and then the last one will be like on the moon.
Well, no, the next expansion is on the moon, isn't it? I thought.
I was thinking, because you said the next one would be the Garleans, and that makes sense to go and take care of the Garleans some more and work with I forget what the good ones are called. I wish someone would remember what it was, but
That's
we'll
all
go
you,
and
boo.
mess with the Garleans. How the what?
I said, that's all you, boo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like the Maxima people?
The Maxima people, the ones that Alfino went to go see, there is a name for their faction, some Latin name that I can't recall, and it's what Asahi said he was a part of, but lied.
That's right.
There is that faction
Well,
that exists.
They were called
Those are the good.
I don't know about a Latin name, but I think generally they called them the populists.
Yes.
So yeah,
Said
that's
Icarus.
populist. That's a
Populist.
Latin. That's a Latin word.
Popularis is what Icarus says.
Populares, yeah.
Okay,
The
so that's what it
populares.
is.
We're going to support the populares as we
I forgot
fight
about
the
that
real
whole-
crazy.
Yeah, I feel like there's not
the
that
crazy
many of them.
Garleans. Well, we'll get there, but there wasn't. You saw how many resistance people we had when we moved in there. There was like 10.
Yeah, I feel like that's like kind of a little not I don't mean to say little, but that's like a resistance kind of, not necessarily like able to fully stand up against the rest of the Garleans. They need us.
Plus,
our
chances
support
are
to do
with the civil war going on, there might be more people that join.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. As each of the little factions take a side, am I going to go with the Populares or the true blood Garleans that wanted to rule everything type of deal?
Yeah, again, like that just doesn't.
Okay, well, if the Ascians still have their true goal of what MXLK has told us, of bringing the rejoining, how are they going to go about it?
You got to have some other big, I don't know, a big war that maybe throws nukes around that could cause a calamity.
But there's no more
as you
Black
saw,
Rose. What's it going to be?
Well, you saw they were
What?
making ultimate weapons.
Yeah, we
From-
did see
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Arc Ultima, I think is what it was called.
Imagine Ultimas that could actually cast maybe a slightly weaker version of the Ultima that we got shielded from.
You guys are making me want to play Kingdom Hearts 3
Yeah, I think
even
at level
more.
90 we'll be able to handle it. I don't know.
So sad. Sorry, I don't mean to get all to put, but I'm like, oh, I was hoping for more like the good bits that we got from Shadowbringers, and it sounds like, and we got the good bits, and now we're going back to the shit we've been doing in the past.
By the way,
mean,
about
do
something you
that.
brought up earlier, RBMP, about the violent scenes. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a rating issue.
I know it definitely is for certain regions. Like
Yeah.
we actually got some blood in this expansion. I wouldn't
Right.
be surprised if like maybe Korea or China doesn't have blood in their versions
Well,
of it.
no, it's just that certain ratings you can only do a certain amount of violence before it goes up.
Yeah.
So
It's like
maybe
you get one
maybe-
fuck, and then and that's it. And one
Yeah.
more than that, you get rated R.
Yeah, one fucking no fucking.
Nope.
So chances are they pushed as far as they could, but they couldn't really put any more in without
But
pushing the.
it doesn't have to be violent to be impactful. Like that was emotionally impactful, and it can be done. Instead, it's less of the, and then you walk up to a bunch of people who passed it. Like the people they showed us who died from Black Rose previously were people we didn't really care. We didn't care about.
Yeah.
So it's like all you need to do is make an emotional connection to the characters, like a real emotional connection, and not one that you're like obviously setting someone up to die. And then when something happens either to them or someone that they really care about, it makes you care. Go with Joss Whedon. Make people love each other. Kill one of them. They'll be upset.
Killing and fucking.
That's not the killing and fucking Pete.
Fucking and killing.
Oh my god. All right.
Murdering around the world.
All right. So, is there anything else you wanted to add to this? Pete?
That's all I had for MSQ discussion. And going by how long we are, unless you guys have anything to add really quickly, I think we're going to move on.
Shout
I want
out
to say that
Chille.
the. Oh, sorry. What were you going to say,
No.
KK?
I love it.
Back
KK.
to-
No, Chili, let him shout you out.
I was just going to shout out to Chille. It was doing some good Ultimate and everything like that. Follow him at Movable Go Around Radio.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
all I
thank
got.
you.
You didn't say it fast enough, but that's cool.
No, I didn't.
All right, Chili,
shout
anything
out.
to... Go ahead.
Okay, go check out Shields Attack, go check out Master Radio, also check out Down, also check out Moogle Around, also music class XV, also Hyper Pixie Gaming right now. go.
Amazing.
Love you both. Thank you
Alright.
guys so much for calling in. This was really fun. Yeah,
Alright,
disappointing.
guys,
I hope it's not
And
disappointing.
talent game.
All right.
Good night.
Night.
Well, I had planned on shitting on Restoration of Ishgard a little bit.
Really?
I was going to hype up the Pixies. I was going to shit on Eureka. But I think I'll save that shitting and hyping up until not next week, but 2 weeks.
Because next week is a holiday.
And speaking of the holiday, Thanksgiving, there's no Final Fantasy XIV Thanksgiving event because as far as I know,
It's a bullshit holiday.
only the US and the Canada celebrate Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is an American holiday. That's bullshit.
Canada has Thanksgiving.
They have Boxing Day.
They have Thanksgiving.
Okay.
They have Canadian Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It's like a month before our Thanksgiving, but they have it.
It's a different holiday then.
But since it's that time, I thought we could talk about who would we want to invite to our Thanksgiving party if we were hosting Thanksgiving as the Warrior of Light.
And we're not allowed to invite Scions.
So yes, this is our quest to travel through Eorzea, Othard, Novrant, wherever you would like to thank 5 people and invite them to your Thanksgiving dinner party. But let's say all of our Scion friends are already coming.
Yes.
We're heading out to thank
These
some
are the
people.
5 randos.
Thank some people that aren't in the main cast. And chat, feel free to put your dinner guests in chat right now.
Let us know your 5 dinner guests. So Pete's going to talk about his, and then I'm going to talk about mine, and then we'd love to
Do you want
see.
me to do all of mine, or do you want to do one?
Go ahead, do all yours. It's
Okay. I have to invite
Uh-oh.
the first person to give me a job and point me in the right direction as a Greenleaf adventurer,
And Ulda.
owner of the Quicksand, none other than Momodi Modi. Momodi Modi. She seems like she would be a lot of fun. She's in the hospitality business running the Quicksand, so she'll probably bring like a nice either side dish
I should bring a bottle of wine.
or maybe some good ass booze.
Yeah, see.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So definitely Momodi Modi.
She is a cutie.
Number 1 on my list. Next up, I'm going to track down someone that has decided to become a monk and travel around helping people. So not the fighting type of monk.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'll be able to find our old samurai friend, Gosetsu.
All right. So Momodo.
I think as he's traveling around, he's probably getting a little bit lonely. So we got to track him down. He'll be a warm presence at the dinner. And after a few drinks, I think we know we're going to get some good-ass stories from Gosetsu.
I do think he'd be fun once he's had a couple drinks.
Exactly. Then I'm going to get a little bit of risky for a chance of getting frisky.
Especially because I'm probably the one cooking dinner.
I'm going to invite my crush, a married woman,
Mm-hmm.
none other than Julian Manderville. And you can't invite a married woman without giving her a +1. So
Right.
I'm gonna tell her +1. You're allowed to bring someone. But I'm just gonna hope that Godbert's too busy banging hookers at the Gold Saucer.
He is totally faithful to her.
Nah.
You're just hoping he's not.
He's basically Trump.
No.
Yes.
No, I like
He
Godbert.
is.
I
He owns
fully
a
disagree with
casino.
that.
He wants to exploit refugees.
No. Trump owns a hotel in Vegas that isn't a casino.
He owns casinos in New Jersey.
Oh.
Come on now.
Should kick his ass. Yeah, KK's right. He would not let she is the alpha in that relationship.
See, I'm not hoping that she kicks his ass. I'm hoping she just doesn't tell him about the party and she comes with me, okay?
Hi.
I'm the warrior of light. I'm not
Married to me?
I'm not vegan Pete. I'm the warrior of light. Totally different
Who
universe.
is vegan Pete?
Totally different universe.
All right, creeper.
Next, even though I'm vegan, I want my guests to be able to enjoy the best cheese in the land.
Mm.
So my next guest will be none other than Brayflox Altox. We've gone up against the dragon Aetar in Brayflox,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the Illuminati, the Goblin Illuminati, all in the name of her cheese. And we need to have that cheese at the party.
I do love me some stinky cheese.
And my last guest is a bit of a wild card, And after I wrote this down, you told me you had the same idea.
I mean, he was my first choice.
Oh,
and
he was your
literally
number
took-
one?
Yes.
Well, your number one's my number 5.
Mm-hmm. You took him, so I couldn't.
Some
do it.
people might not like him. He talks some smack, but he's a funny dude. I'm inviting Nero, my man.
Stole my Nero. First of all, I can't believe you didn't invite Fordola.
Thought about it.
I thought for sure you'd have her.
I feel like she's kind of a bummer, though.
Yeah, that's fair. She is a bummer. All right, so KK's like, P is snubbing Fordola.
She's hot as balls, but she's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, Nero is my first choice, but I didn't get him because Pete already invited him to his Thanksgiving. So I think maybe that my choices were based off of my time in the Navy. Because if I were to invite people over for Thanksgiving, I think it would be for people that I think need that invite the most.
I can feel that.
And whether that's because they feel alone or maybe it's just someone who I feel would really appreciate an
That's
invite.
kind of how I was thinking with Gosetsu.
Yeah, like I like that's kind of how I base it. So my first choice was actually Soraban.
But didn't he turn into like a
Not
all...
yet. We can still invite him. And he's been working so hard with the Four Lords and always with the Beast Tribes. And I feel like he could really use a night to feel appreciated for all of his efforts and just hang out with some friends. So I'd invite him to my Thanksgiving. Next, I would invite Lena from Shadowbringers because
the guard. Or the captain of the army.
She has lost a lot of her soldiers, which are also her friends. So I would want to make sure that she was not left out in any way. And even if she chose not to come, I would make sure to invite her because I think she needs the invite.
Maybe her and Fordola can hang out somewhere.
No, she's way nicer than Fordola. Next,
they both got baggage.
Next, everyone I invite has baggage. Next, I would invite Geralt. And I'm sure the only turkey he would be enjoying that night would be the wild turkey. But that's okay.
you can't give Geralt any wild turkey. He's an alcoholic. You can't give it to him.
That's what he would bring. But as grumpy as that shut-in is, I'm sure he would actually be very happy to have the company in the end. My next invite would be Feoul.
Okay, I did think of Feoul, and then I decided I wasn't allowed to bring her.
So this is mostly because I feel like she considers herself my auntie. And if you don't throw your auntie an invite to Thanksgiving, there are going to be some issues down the road.
I thought the same thing.
Plus, she's going to be pretty
no,
hilarious.
You're not Feoul anymore. You're Titania.
That was kind of my thing. So, or you can call her Titania, but she's like my little sapling. Like, if she found out you had a Friendsgiving and didn't invite her, like, it'd be an issue.
But I'm like, you're too much of a presence, okay, Titania?
No, I love her. It's not my wedding. She can be there. Finally, I would invite the OG Master Matoya.
I did think about her too.
I don't think this woman gets a home-cooked meal very often. Also, those magical brooms of hers would help make cleanup a breeze. You can tell who gets stuck doing the dishes. So I've invited 5 people, as stated. The other person I had on my list was Hilda Ware in Ishgard. And the reason I took her off my list is because I'm pretty sure she would be feeding the homeless on Thanksgiving and wouldn't be able to make it to my party. And I also, again, as we stated, would have invited Nero, but he stole my hottie. And finally, I would have loved to have invited Emmett Selk. And while I do think he'd appreciate the invite and show up, I think he would have spent the entire time trying to make everyone at dinner as miserable as possible simply for his own entertainment.
There's no Emmett Selk anymore, though.
You didn't say they had to be alive still.
They had to be alive.
you didn't say that. So yeah, those are my...
Yeah, I thought about Master Matoya as well. But I figured, like, I'd probably let everyone have a +1. And even though I didn't invite Y'shtola since she's one of the Scions, she'd probably invite Master Matoya.
Oh, shit. I don't give everyone a +1 for Thanksgiving. You got to ask for that +1 for Thanksgiving.
All right. Well,
Icarus.
I thought that was just a fun little thing to do.
It was fun. It was actually difficult to do because...
Yeah, once you take out all the Scions, it's like, who we got left?
No, it wasn't that. It was I wanted to do, like, the hard-charging, like, the big characters in it, like, the oh god, I just blinked on his fucking Crystal Exarch and stuff like that. I felt like, because he helped us so much. But then I was like, he's rich and he's got this whole city that cares about him. I want to invite the people that don't have that.
Okay, so let's look through chat. Let's see who we got. We got a Namazu yes from KK wants to invite obviously the whole Namazu tribe.
Chille says Nanamo, Momodi, Gegaruju, Shamani, and Julian. I thought of a lot of those, actually.
Icarus wants Emmett Silk. Aurora wants Graha Tia.
Mm-hmm.
KKMacleod also wants Dat Goldsmith Guildmaster. Don't remember. Ian Tsukiyomi, her persimmons bring all the boys to the yard.
Ian shows the Namazo be on that table deep fried.
We got a Fran from Icarus. A Kai Shur from Carter Pants.
Estinian from Aurora.
And
Merlweb from Ace, but Merlweb is no longer alive. Pete says I'm not allowed to do that one.
Yeah, unless you can summon her from the dead.
Yeah.
We got Elise.
All right, Pete, let's move on to the next section.
Next section is the Community Roundup, partner. And this week, I wanted to give a little plug, a little shout out to someone who joined us for that MSQ discussion. It's Chille.
And
not
Moogle
just
Go
Chille,
Round.
but Chille and his co-host. I almost said partner, like they were a couple.
His better half.
Paul Metal Mace from Moogle Go Round Radio. I want all of you to check them out. You can find them at moogleGoRound.podbean.com or also on Twitter at MoogleGoRound. And something that happened this week.
I'm sorry, Chille, you gave him the soundbite, and he had to share. Chille's chair broke mid-podcast.
This happened live on their Twitch stream.
No, on their podcast.
Well,
Twitch
they were
stream.
doing it live on Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to make the final cut when they put the podcast out there.
Chille, he listened to this so many times
But
last night.
his chair also broke during Raid as well after the podcast. So this is the type of content that you will potentially get if you listen to Moogle Go Round Radio. Let me play it right now.
It felt so... Oh God, Chille, you good? What was that? Chille, are you good?
I have to say, I'm sorry, Chille. I laughed my ass off when I heard that for the first 10 times.
He kept listening to it over and over again. Chille, you were his Reddit last night.
Oh my God, I wish I had the video so bad.
There's no video on.
There's no video.
No.
I wish I had the video so bad.
I'm sorry. That's so British. No, Ian, you know it's so British. I'm sorry, Chille, to add to this, but he said the reason the second time he fell that was so much worse is because he spilled his tea.
Yes.
That's so British.
That's what he was so mad about the second time.
Yes.
He fell.
So, Chille, I'm sorry. But you made the community wrapped up.
So, shout out to Chille.
We
Show
love
him
you.
some support for falling twice. Or is it falling if your chair breaks? Did you fall?
Yeah,
Like,
fell.
it's not your fault.
And if you guys remember, so he does on twitch.tv/Moogle Go Round. If you want to donate, I'm sure they have a donation option. You can say for your new chair, Chille, and throw some donations to Chille to get himself a new chair so that he doesn't break his arm.
Thank you for the comedy. And I'm that guy. I loved America's Funniest Home Videos when I was little. I watched Jackass. I love watching people just fall.
Pete's favorite subreddit is kids falling or something. What was it?
I think children falling or something like that.
Children falling. Like that's his favorite. Man getting hit by football. Yeah, all
And
that
the
stuff.
nuts.
Yeah, always.
All right.
So check out
Round it
Chille. I swear his content is wonderful, even when he's not falling out.
Everyone knows Chille. He's the best.
All
All right, little bit of listener reaction this week, Avi. Chille says, make sure to check out Vegan Pete as he live streams Final Fantasy IX as he continues through it today over at She Heals iTank. And like I said, might be finishing it this weekend.
And finally, at Jermaine Rackley, in response to Pete sharing that he got the 2P glamour from the new 24-man raid, says, score! You beat the system.
And we have an iTunes review this week.
Uh-oh, I'm scared.
From XXV1XX, who says, my favorite Final Fantasy XIV podcast.
Aw.
1 star. No, just joking. great to
always
listen
scared.
to while stuck at your job and need your dose of Final Fantasy XIV info. I love how they interact with the subscribers, and I'm excited to hear more episodes.
Thank you, B1. That was
Thank
very
you.
sweet of you.
Very much.
So, on that note, this is a bit of a long episode, and that this is going to be it for this episode. As always, we've enjoyed hanging out with you all live here on Twitch. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Thank you, Chille. Thank you, KK, for calling in and giving your opinions about 5.0 and 5.1.
I think we have something from Chille.
It felt so.
What was that, Chille?
Oh God,
Oh,
Chille,
God,
good?
Chille. Are you okay?
What was that?
What was that?
Chille,
Chille! I hope Chille's okay.
My husband is so mean. Be sure to hit that follow button so you'll know the next time we will be going live. And a great big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast through iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, and the new one that I need to add next week. You really are the reason we keep making episodes. And remember, wherever you do listen, it would mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little shit podcast a rating or a review. Or more importantly, tell a friend to check us out. Here with Vegan Pete, I'm Avi Ale, and we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I fully expected you to play it again.
It felt so. Oh God, Chille, you good?
It's so good.
What was that?
You're welcome, Abe. I split up my cookies evenly among the top people so that they would match the amount of cookies that KK had. And KK thought that it was because he was like, "Hey, Avi, you want to tank a leveling roulette?" And I was like, not really, but sure. And then we got Aurum Vale with a brand new healer and a ridiculously special monk. So he thought I was doing it as payback. Paul's what that should be is how I know. You don't even know, you guys. Pete was listening to that over and over and over again last night. Like, it was, I don't know. I felt bad. I was like, "Are you still listening to that?" He looked at me like, "Maybe." Like, oh my God. Oh, agitated salamander. That's hilarious. They're like kissing. Oh yeah, it was a horrible run. It was horrible. And I was trying to be nice and like explain it to the healer who was a Greenleaf, but then they were kind of like, oh, the monk was actually doing like the countdown for the bosses. Yeah, I'm a tank, and the monk was starting the countdown for the bosses, and I was just like, all right, that's just what's happening. I guess I'm not going to be explaining this. Chille's arm hurts from the second fall with the tea, so he may have actually slept tonight. So I'm assuming he logged off to sleep. So we'll have to. Yeah, it was an over-controlling monk. It was bad. It was not a fun run. Even KK disappeared. Maybe he and Chille are in some private chat somewhere talking about how to like ice a fall. I don't know. Oh no, there's KK. You will reclaim the throne. Monk was all. He did. It was not even a level 60 dungeon, and he's like, you can make me your dance partner. And KK's like, yeah, I can at level 60. It was the perfect response, KK. I was just like, that's the kind of, well, and I started it out gloriously in the fact that I went and pulled without putting tank stance up because I hadn't tanked a dungeon in weeks. So the whole thing was just a hot mess, a lot of hot mess. So
where's Chille? Did he like log off right after we had MSQ?
I think he's icing his arm, Pete. But yeah, it was, oh my God. I don't even know. It was, yeah. All right, Pete. Well, I'm gonna run away while you do the things now,
because I thought he would have been tickled by playing his clip since he posted it everywhere and every Discord.
You guys, like, he will play it for you again if you just ask him. He'll play it over and over.
You don't even ask me.
It felt so. Oh God, Chille, you good? What was that?
I can't make out what he says. Like as soon as he falls, I think he says, "I'll be right back." Why is it echoing? I don't know why it's echoing. Let me play it again. Let's see if it echoes.
It just felt so. Oh God, Chille, you good? What was that? Chille, you good?
I think I have it echoing because I have it coming from two sources, but they should have been at the exact same time, not echoey at all. Oh. Yeah, that worked, but I couldn't hear it very good on that one. That's why I wasn't laughing my ass off. Oh, man. That was some good shit. Thank you, Chille, for sharing that with everyone. I really appreciate it. And after a long night of raiding and then you sharing that, oh my God, brightened up my night. And I know that hurt for you. I know, because I feel like the second one probably did him in. After the second one, he's like, my arm hurts, I spilled my tea. Fucking over this day.
No.
So everyone go show Chille your love by following them on Twitch, following them on Twitter, subbing, show Chille some love.
Is it Moogle Go Around or Moogle Go Around Radio?
Thought it was Moogle Go Around Radio. Let me check.
Or it's... I guessed. That might not be it.
Yeah, it's twitch.tv/Moogle Go Around Radio.
Oh, the second one. Ignore the second one. It's the first one. I'm guessing. One.
Come on, they're hosting us right now, Avi.
Who is?
Moogle Go Around Radio.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went potty. And I had a quarter in my back pocket and I just flushed it.
You had a quarter in your butt?
No, there was yep, I lost a quarter.
All right, guys. We've had a long week, so I don't think we're going to do any after stream.
I have my final tomorrow. Woo, morning.
All right, guys. We got a couple people that are shit fans at the moment. We've got...
Oh, streaming right now.
Yeah, we've got Hyper Pixie Gaming playing Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Oh, she only has 10 viewers.
We have...
Oh, no, we need to raid Rathok.
Rathok doing Elite Dangerous, and we have Mocha Jones doing Twitch Sings.
Oh, God, they're both so sweet. But we've never raided Rathok. We've raided Mocha.
Okay.
Let's raid Rathok.
So let's raid. Probably
we
hearing,
raided Pixie last week.
You guys are hearing the
We raided her
commercial
a
I'm
lot.
getting right
so
now?
let's do Rathok. Flatus is also streaming.
Oh, yeah, Maelstrom Radio is going too, but it doesn't say what they're playing
Oh, weird.
on my screen for some reason.
I don't know. But I know Rathok raids us all the time. Yeah, go raid Pixie by yourself, Chris. You can stick with us and then open Pixie. And Pixie's open in another tab for me right now.
So
I never left her.
we're going to
Nighty,
raid
Chris.
Rathok right now. I hope you guys all join us.
Yes, please do.
All right.
Remember, you get 250 channel points if you join us, and then you can make silly
You
looking
get yourself some emotes
emotes.
with the raid or channel points.
I need to start spending some of those. Oh, Aurora, hon, that sucks. I hate laundry. I'll be doing it tomorrow, too.
All right, we're about to raid Rathok. Tell them the shitheads send their regards.
Yes.
And we'll be there for a while as well.
Get
I'm
it.
going to send everyone over right now.
Bye. Have a wonderful night.
And then I will be stopping our stream like Avi forgot to do yesterday.